Aerial drone shot of a small Pacific Northwest logging town at dusk. Fog rolls through empty Main Street. Houses with broken windows, overgrown yards, rusted cars abandoned in driveways. A faded "Welcome to Redacted Pop 847" sign in foreground, spray painted with "Quarantine Zone" in red. Deep forest surrounds the town on all sides, dark and oppressive. Between the trees at the forest edge, multiple pairs of glowing golden eyes watch the town. Atmosphere is eerie, post-apocalyptic, haunting. Dark screen with dense forest silhouettes. Massive full moon behind trees, partially obscured by fog. In the foreground, a single massive wolf-like figure stands on two legs at the forest edge, 7 feet tall, caught between human and wolf form. Silhouette only, backlit by moonlight. Title appears in bold, distressed font. The Pack That Hunted a Town, based on documented events. Subtitle underneath, a true account from 2006-2007. Sound design, distant, mournful howling. Daytime forest trail perspective. Dappled sunlight through tall pine trees. In the middle distance, about 50 feet away, 3 large wolf-shaped figures standing completely upright on 2 legs, moving between trees. They're partially obscured by forest foliage, but clearly bipedal. Wrong proportions. Too tall, 6+ feet. Front limbs too long, heads too large. Gray-black fur visible. One is paused mid-step, looking directly at camera with intelligent, calculating golden eyes. Hiker's hand visible in foreground holding a water bottle, frozen mid-drink. Atmosphere, unsettling. Something is very wrong here. Close-up ground shot, late afternoon. Officer Evan Garrett, late 30s, rugged in wildlife officer uniform, kneeling in mud beside Patricia Yang's chicken coop. His flashlight beam illuminates a single footprint in the wet earth. The print is horrifyingly wrong. The back half is clearly human. Distinct heel, arch, 5 human toes spread wide. The front half transitions into wolf, elongated with 4 large claw marks gouged deep into mud. A measuring tape lies beside it, showing the print is 14 inches long. Evan's hand hovers over the print, not touching it, frozen in disbelief. His face visible in profile, deeply troubled expression. Background shows destroyed chicken coop with bent metal hinges. Night shot from above, drone perspective. Derek Chen's rural house, all lights blazing. The yard is illuminated by motion sensor floodlights. In the dirt around the house, dozens of tracks circle the property in a perfect hunting pattern. Multiple creatures moved in coordinated formation. 5 large wolf-like figures, visible at the edge of the light, positioned at strategic points around the house. North, south, east, west corners, and one at the back fence. They're standing upright, 7 feet tall, dark silhouettes with glowing golden eyes. Derek visible on front porch with rifle spotlighting the yard. His wife and kids pressed against window inside. The tracks show military-level tactical positioning. This was coordinated, intelligent hunting. Night forest scene. Multiple flashlight beams converge on a young teenage boy, Marcus 16, sitting against a large pine tree 2 miles off trail. He's in torn clothing, scratches covering his face and arms, not deep but everywhere. Knees pulled to chest, rocking slightly. His eyes are wide, glassy, staring at nothing, completely unresponsive. Officer Evan Garrett kneels in front of him with flashlight, trying to get his attention. Search party members visible behind, parents crying, volunteers looking horrified. Ground around the tree is covered in tracks, dozens of them, both wolf and human-like, circling the tree in layers. The tracks show Marcus was cornered here for hours. They didn't kill him. They terrified him into silence. Atmosphere, deeply disturbing psychological horror. Clinic examination room, harsh fluorescent lighting. Emma Porter, 17, female, usually vibrant, now vacant, sits on exam table. Dr. Raymond, 60s, kind face, concerned, gently pulls aside the torn, dirty collar of her shirt to reveal her shoulder. 2 clear puncture wounds surrounded by dark purple bruising, unmistakable bite marks. But they're already healing. Edges scabbed over, skin knitting back together in a way that should take a week, not 3 days. Emma's face is in profile, unfocused eyes staring at nothing. Her parents stand in background, mother's hand over mouth in horror, father holding her. Medical equipment visible, blood pressure cuff, stethoscope, examination light. The bite marks are center frame, undeniable evidence. Night, Emma Porter's backyard, 2 a.m. Emma, now naked, covered in blood, deer blood, not human, crouches over a torn-apart deer carcass, feral posture. Officer Evan approaches with flashlight. Emma's head snaps up to face the light. Close up on her face. Her eyes are no longer human. They're golden, reflective like an animal's, glowing in the flashlight beam. Her mouth is open in a warning snarl, revealing elongated canines, fangs too long, too sharp to be human. Her hands buried in the carcass show elongated fingers with claw-like nails, blood dripping. Her facial structure is subtly wrong, more pronounced cheekbones, slightly elongated jaw. She's caught mid-transformation. Parents visible through backdoor window, horrified. This is the moment of undeniable proof. Werewolves are real. Night forest clearing, campfire burning, 5 teenagers, Emma Porter, Jake, Alex, Maya, Sophie, around the fire, frozen in terror. At the edge of the firelight, 3 massive wolf-like figures stand completely upright on 2 legs, 7+ feet tall. Wrong proportions, elongated limbs, hunched shoulders, wolf heads on 2 human neck structures, dark gray-black fur, golden eyes glowing. They're positioned strategically, blocking escape routes. More figures visible as shadows between trees in background. The teens are surrounded. 1 teen, Alex, is standing, protective stance. Another, Sophie, is screaming. Emma Porter, different Emma, the one who will be taken, has just fallen on the ground. The creatures aren't attacking. They're watching, calculating, coordinating. Tents and camping gear visible. Atmosphere, the moment before the abduction. Predators selecting prey. Forest at night. Chaos in motion. Emma Porter, 17, screaming, fighting, is being carried away by 2 large werewolf creatures in hybrid form, half human, half wolf. Each creature holds one of her arms, lifting her completely off the ground. They move on 2 legs at impossible speed, blurred motion. Emma's face shows terror, mouth open mid-scream. Behind them, the 4 remaining teens are running in the opposite direction toward town, flashlight beams swinging wildly. More wolf-like figures are visible between trees, herding the teens away from Emma, cutting off any rescue attempt. The creatures are working as a coordinated unit. This is a planned abduction, not random violence. Deep forest, dense trees. Motion blur suggests speed. This is the last moment the teens see Emma before she disappears into the forest. Dawn, empty 2-lane highway, Highway 20, heavy fog rolling across asphalt, center of frame, Emma Porter walking barefoot down the center line, moving like a sleepwalker. She's still in the torn, dirty clothes from camping 3 days ago. Distant figure at first, then closer shot showing her face, completely vacant expression, eyes unfocused, seeing something that isn't there. She doesn't respond to approaching vehicle. Officer Evans' patrol truck pulling alongside her, headlights cutting through fog. Through windshield, Evans' horrified expression is visible. Emma keeps walking as if the truck isn't there. Bite marks visible on her shoulder through torn shirt. Atmosphere, eerie, unsettling, post-trauma. She's back, but something fundamental has changed. Emma Porter's backyard, 2 a.m., 3 days after her return. Wide shot establishing the horror. Emma, naked, covered in blood, crouches over a completely torn-apart deer carcass in the middle of the lawn. Deer's throat ripped open, entrails exposed. Emma's hands, now with claws, are buried in the carcass, feeding. Officer Evans stands 15 feet away, flashlight beam illuminating the scene, frozen in shock. Emma's head is turned toward him, golden eyes glowing, mouth open showing fangs, warning growl. Her body posture is pure predator, protective of her kill. Parents visible at back door, father restraining mother from running out. Blood pooled on grass, garden tools and children's toys visible in background. Jarring contrast between suburban normalcy and primal horror. This is the point of no return image. Undeniable transformation. Clinic basement, converted to quarantine facility. Emma Porter strapped to hospital bed, heavily sedated but restless. IV lines attached. Her eyes flash gold even through sedation. Doctors in full hazmat suits taking blood samples. Behind reinforced glass window, her parents watch. Mother crying, father's hand pressed against glass. In background, more beds being set up. This is just the beginning. Medical equipment everywhere. Heart monitors, IV stands, specimen containers. CDC officials in suits taking notes. Corkboard visible on wall with photos of other infected. Jake Simmons, 3 others, all showing golden eye flashes. Map of town with infection sites marked with red pins, spreading pattern visible. Harsh fluorescent lighting. Clinical horror. The infection is real, documented, spreading. Jake Simmons's bedroom, curtains drawn, dark, except for sliver of light from hallway. Jake, 16, basketball player, previously healthy, lies in bed under covers, sweating profusely despite cold room. Officer Evans stands in doorway. Jake slowly pulls back his sleeve, revealing his forearm, 2 small scars from bite marks, already healed over, should still be fresh wounds. Jake's face shows fear and confusion. As he turns to look at Evan, his eyes flash gold for a split second before returning to normal. Captured mid-flash, one eye human brown, one eye glowing gold. His fingernails are slightly elongated, early claw formation. Poster of basketball players on wall. Normal teenage room, but inhabitant is becoming something else. Window shows full moon outside. Jake's mother, visible in doorway behind Evan, hand over mouth. Subtle body horror. The transformation has begun. Night, 2 a.m. Officer Evans sits in patrol truck at Eastern Town perimeter, coffee cup in hand. Through windshield, the forest edge 20 feet away. Emerging from between trees, the Alpha in full horrifying glory. 7+ feet tall, caught perfectly between human and wolf. Elongated limbs, hunched shoulders, digitigrade legs, bent backward like wolf. Massive clawed hands, 3-inch talons. Wolf's head with elongated muzzle, but set on 2 flat, 2 human skull structure. Dark gray-black fur covering entire body, but human muscle definition visible underneath. Golden eyes glowing in truck's headlights, reflecting light. He stands upright, calm, confident, not aggressive, just present, powerful, ancient. Behind him, forest is pitch black, but multiple pairs of golden eyes visible between trees. His pack, fog rolling across ground. Evan's white-knuckled hands visible gripping steering wheel in foreground, frozen in primal fear. This is apex predator meeting prey. Same scene, moments later. Alpha has moved closer to truck, now only 10 feet away. His face fills more of frame, wolf muzzle, but capable of human expression. He's speaking, mouth open showing rows of sharp teeth. Through truck window, reflection visible. Evan's house in distance, bedroom window lit. Small figure visible in window. Emma, his daughter, reading. Split focus. Alpha's face sharp and threatening in foreground. Evan's house daughter blurred but recognizable in background. Alpha's clawed hand pressed against truck window, glass creaking under pressure. His golden eyes are locked on Evans with absolute certainty. Speech bubble or subtitle. Bring me your daughter, tomorrow night, midnight. Evan's face reflected in truck's side mirror shows pure terror and rage combined. This is the moment a father's worst nightmare becomes real. A monster wants his child. Police station conference room, middle of night, 3 a.m. Harsh fluorescent lighting. Central table with tactical map of town spread out, marked with infection sites, attack locations, perimeter barriers. Officer Evan stands at head of table, haggard, exhausted, recounting his encounter. Around table, Chief Harley, 50s, overwhelmed, Dr. Raymond, 3 CDC officials in suits taking notes. Whiteboard visible behind them covered with photos. The Alpha, grainy trail cam image. Emma Porter with golden eyes, Jake Simmons, bite mark close-ups, hybrid footprints, infection timeline. Coffee cups everywhere. No one has slept. One CDC official holds up specimen vial with infected blood sample. Window shows darkness outside, searchlight sweeping. Clock on wall shows 3:47 a.m. Atmosphere, desperate war room planning, officials realizing they're fighting something unprecedented. This is the moment authority figures realize they're losing. Evan's kitchen, late afternoon. Jennifer, Evan's wife, late 30s, kind face now etched with fear, stands confronting Evan across kitchen table. Emma, their daughter, 13, bright eyes, visible through doorway in living room, listening from couch, clutching stuffed bear. Kitchen is normal suburban. Family photos on fridge, kids' drawings, coffee maker, but now has emergency supplies stacked in corner, bottled water, canned food, ammunition boxes. Jennifer's hand slams down on table in frustration. Evan looks away, unable to meet her eyes. Window behind them shows forest edge in distance, barely visible in fading light. Golden eyes visible between trees. They're always watching. Tension thick. Speech bubble. Jennifer, you're using yourself as bait. Evan, I'm protecting our daughter. This is personal stakes. Family torn apart by impossible choice. Night, Evan's backyard. Midnight. Officer Evans stands at grass edge where lawn meets forest. Beside him, Officer Chen, young, small-framed, in Emma's jacket and wig, head down, passing for teenage girl in darkness. Both are tense, waiting. In trees around them, 6 sharpshooters barely visible, positioned in branches with rifles equipped with night vision scopes, laser sights creating thin red lines through mist. Tactical setup. Motion sensors placed around perimeter, night vision cameras on tripods, command vehicle 100 yards back with Chief Harley monitoring screens. Forest beyond is pitch black, ominous, full moon partially obscured by clouds. Atmosphere, military precision meets supernatural horror. Everyone is in position, waiting. Tension is unbearable, mist rolling across ground. This is humanity's attempt to fight back with technology and tactics. Chaos erupts, multiple muzzle flashes lighting up darkness, sharpshooters firing simultaneously. But Alpha is blur of motion between shots. He's there, then he's not. Impossible speed. Bullets hitting trees, kicking up dirt, missing target. Suddenly Alpha appears behind Evan and Chen, his clawed hand wrapped around Chen's throat, lifting her off ground. Chen's eyes wide with terror, feet dangling. Evan turning, gun drawn but frozen, can't shoot without hitting Chen. In background, transformed emerging from forest. Emma Porter in wolf form, Jake Simmons in hybrid form, 6 more. They're attacking the sharpshooters' positions. 1 officer falling from tree, 3 transformed on him. Another officer firing until magazine empty, trying to reload. Blood spray, screaming, howling. Muzzle flashes everywhere. This is the moment the ambush fails completely. Technology and weapons are useless against coordinated supernatural predators. Daytime. Military convoy entering town down Main Street. Leading, M1 Abrams tank, followed by armored personnel carriers, APCs, Humvees with mounted guns, troop transport trucks. 200 National Guard soldiers in full combat gear. Apache helicopters circling overhead. Town residents watching from porches and windows. mix of hope and fear. In foreground, Officer Evan and Chief Harley standing beside patrol car watching arrival. In background, construction crew already building perimeter wall, 10-foot concrete and chain link sections being erected, topped with razor wire, guard towers being assembled. Colonel Hayes, 50s, hard military face, emerging from command vehicle, maps in hand, American flags on vehicles. But at Forest Edge, visible in distance, golden eyes watching, hundreds of them. The pack has grown. Military might meets ancient supernatural force. Scale and power on display, but viewers sense it won't be enough. Night 2 a.m. Northwest section of military perimeter. Massive attack in progress. 10-foot wall section collapsed, chain link torn apart like paper. 50-plus transformed, pouring through the breach in coordinated waves. Front line, full wolves, massive, moving at 40 mph. Second wave, hybrid forms, 7 feet tall, claws and fangs, some carrying crude weapons, torn pipes, tools, showing disturbing intelligence. Third wave, recently transformed, still partially human. Soldiers firing everything, assault rifles, machine guns, 50 cal mounted on Humvee, throwing grenades, muzzle flashes everywhere, spent shells raining down. But transformed keep coming, stepping over their own fallen, driven by pack instinct. Some transformed, taking multiple bullets and still attacking. Chaos, soldier being dragged over wall. Another in hand-to-hand combat with hybrid werewolf. Medic trying to treat wounded while defending position. Searchlight sweeping, illuminating the carnage. Smoke, blood, destruction. This is full-scale war, and humanity is losing. Emma Garrett's bedroom, Evan's daughter, middle of night. Emma, 13, sitting bolt upright in bed, screaming, tears streaming down face. Stuffed bear clutched to chest. Parents rushing through door, Evan in foreground with weapon drawn, reflex, Jennifer behind him. But the horror is internal. Superimposed ghostly image above Emma's head shows what she's hearing, seeing in her mind. The Alpha's face, massive and terrifying, speaking directly into her thoughts. His mouth moving. "You belong to the pack. I'm coming for you." Emma's bedroom is normal. Posters, books, desk with homework, but now feels violated. Window shows forest in distance, golden eyes watching the house. Full moon outside. This is psychological horror. The Alpha can reach into their minds even from distance. No one is safe, even in their own home. Emma's innocence being shattered. Wide aerial shot of town at night, establishing the scope of disaster. Military perimeter has 3 massive breach points, northwest, east, and south sections. Walls torn down, guard towers collapsed. Transformed flooding into town through all 3 breaches simultaneously. This is coordinated military-style attack. Fires burning in multiple locations, smoke rising. Tracers from gunfire creating lines of light across scene. Helicopters overhead with searchlights. In town center, civilians running, some being chased by transformed, others barricading themselves in buildings. Main Street is war zone. In town square, the Alpha stands on Fountain, 7 feet tall, directing his pack with raised arms like a general commanding troops. Pack members responding to his signals, moving in formation. Scale of invasion is overwhelming. 50, 60, maybe more transformed. This isn't a monster attack anymore. This is an organized military conquest of the town. Morning after the breach. Dawn light. Town square. Destroyed fountain in center. Alpha sits on fountain edge like a throne, 7 feet tall even seated, commanding presence. Around him in semicircle, his pack of 50-plus transformed. Mix of forms, some full wolf, some hybrid, some mostly human with golden eyes, claws. All calm, organized, disciplined. They include recognizable faces. Emma Porter, peaceful expression. Jake Simmons, Dr. Raymond, now transformed. Carol Hendricks, Bill the Woodsman, even some soldiers in torn uniforms. Officer Evan stands alone 20 feet away, facing them. Behind Evan, destroyed town visible. Burned buildings, overturned military vehicles, bodies covered with sheets. No backup, no weapons, just conversation. Alpha is gesturing calmly, explaining his philosophy. Pack members look content, even happy, not aggressive. This is disturbing. They're not acting like monsters. They're acting like a community. In background, Jennifer and Emma, Evan's family, held gently by two transformed, unharmed but captured. Stakes couldn't be higher. Continuation of town square scene. Pack has parted like curtain, revealing Jennifer and Emma Garrett held gently but firmly by two transformed in hybrid form. They're unharmed, no violence, no aggression, but clearly captive. Jennifer's arm is held by transformed Carol Hendricks, who used to be their neighbor. Emma held by transformed Jake Simmons, who used to be her classmate. Both transformed are careful, almost protective. But the message is clear. Resistance is over. Evan's face in foreground, back to camera. His whole body tense, fists clenched, but unable to act. Alpha in background, arms spread in reasonable gesture, speaking, "Join us willingly and your family stays together. Forever." As Pack. Emma, Evan's daughter, looks at her father with tears, but also consideration. Maybe acceptance. The offer isn't presented as threat, but as invitation. This is psychological horror. The monster is offering belonging, family, purpose. And it's tempting. Evan's damaged house interior, night. Living room by candlelight, no electricity. Family of three having the hardest conversation of their lives. Jennifer sits on couch, emotionally exhausted, holding Emma. Evan paces by window, backlit by moonlight. Table between them covered with maps, evacuation plans, all useless. In background through broken window, transformed patrolling streets, golden eyes visible in darkness. They're everywhere now, inescapable. Emma, 13, speaks. "What if we're still a family after? What if Jake seemed happy because he is happy?" Jennifer crying, considering it. Evan's face shows internal war. Protect family versus stay human. Clock on wall shows hours passing, 8 p.m., 10 p.m., midnight. Family photos on wall show happier times, camping trip, Emma's birthday, Christmas, stark contrast to current horror. Deadline approaching. By morning, they must decide. Accept transformation or die? This is Sophie's Choice meets body horror. Impossible decision that has no good answer. Midnight. November 20th. Evan, Jennifer, and Emma Garrett walking down center of empty Main Street toward Town Square, holding hands. Family silhouette from behind, heading toward their fate. Street is destroyed. Overturned cars, broken windows, destroyed military equipment, burn marks on pavement. But at end of street, Town Square is lit up. The Alpha's pack of 50-plus transformed waiting in organized rows, almost ceremonial. Alpha stands central on Fountain, massive, arms open in welcome. Pack members holding torches, deliberately non-threatening, ritualistic. Full moon overhead, perfectly framed between buildings. The family's shadows stretch long behind them, last shadows they'll cast as humans. Emma, 13, in middle, parents on either side, walking with heads up, dignity intact. They've chosen to stay together as Pack. This is the moment of transformation, of surrender, of change, not presented as defeat but as evolution. The visual is simultaneously tragic and strangely beautiful. A family choosing each other over humanity itself.